Hello, Eric from Sound Contracting in Fresno, California, going over your new audio-visual system for the Tulare campus Building A multi-purpose room. To use this system, the first thing you're going to need to do is come into this room and turn this rack of equipment on. You do not need to use the video equipment. If you just want to use the system for audio, that's fine, but this rack will need to be turned on for any use. To begin with, you'll see that the red button is always on. This is our surge protector. This stays on at all times. We go over to here, it says on/off sequence. And what that does is that when we press this button, that turns all of the equipment in the rack on and off in the proper sequence. So that way we don't have that loud pop that can happen without systems like this in place. So we turn that on and we see our green light start to come on and the rest of the equipment starts to power itself up. We'll let it go through its little sequence. When you have all three green lights lit, we know the system is ready to use. Okay? We have two wireless microphones with a choice of either a handheld transmitter, and they're labeled wireless 1, wireless 2. We also have, let me open that up so you can see it, two body pack transmitters with lavalier microphones. So depending on your choice of speaker, you have a lavalier mic as well with a body pack. Let me go back to the handheld here. It is one or the other. You have two independent, but you cannot use handheld number 1 and body pack number 1 at the same time. So you have two wireless systems with a choice of handheld or body pack each. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to grab wireless number 2. We have that kind of universal on-off button there. Hold that down and it lights up. We have a green light. Tells us we're good to go. The control for that is on our mixer. All right. If we look here, it's labeled wireless 1, wireless 2, wired mic 1, iPod, and we're going to get to all those in just a second. So we have our volume control for this. If I talk into that, test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We have our volume control for that. When I'm done using this is important, I want to hold that button down for about 4 seconds until my display disappears. If I don't do that, the battery is going to stay on, and you have about 10 hours of battery life, but that's whether you're using it or not. If the unit is on, time's ticking away on your battery life. So if we tap that momentarily, we get an orange button. Orange light, I'm sorry, and that, check, we're muted. Press it again, we're green, test, we're back on, all right? Sometimes if you accidentally press that and it's orange, you're gonna say, hey, this is not working, just look on there, green is good, green lights always mean good. So if we press it again, we're green, test, hold it down for approximately 4 seconds, we've turned the unit off. All right, most of the time, the wireless microphones are what you're going to end up using. You also have an iPod MP3 input jack. This is that standard 1/8" stereo cable that you would use for your car or for any other iPod interface. You can plug your iPhone, iPod into this jack, and then your volume control, just like our volume controls for the wireless were here. It's going to be right here for the iPod. Okay. Overall system volume control is right here. This is our audio mixer. We have a master volume control. Generally, you will never need to touch that volume control. It's preset. But if you find that somebody's very quiet speaker, and these are turned all the way up, you may have to adjust that, but honestly, that's probably more power than you'd ever need for the system. But you do know that if that is not turned up, if somebody comes here and presses a knob and turns that, you're going to be saying, hey, I don't have any microphone, I'm turning these jacks all the way up and nothing's happening. It may be because somebody turned your master volume control down. The other two that we didn't cover on here as far as your audio mixer is wired microphone number 1, which I'm going to switch places here. Right on the other side of this wall is an input jack. It's an XLR microphone jack for a wired microphone. For some reason, if anybody ever needed to use a wired microphone, there's our volume control for it. It's pretty self-explanatory. The last one is our Kramer switcher. This is our video output audio to the sound system. So anytime anybody's playing a video, whether it be from your Blu-ray player, from a laptop, anything like that, this, where it says Kramer switcher, this controls what goes out to the speakers. To use your video system, what you want to do is first press the button that brings your motorized screen up and down, which is located right next to the rack of audio equipment. It's pretty self-explanatory, up, down, and stop. So if I want to bring it down, I press it once and it's completely motorized. The screen's going to come down and stop at its predetermined length. Okay, to turn the projector on, you're going to grab the projector remote control. At the top is the power switch, kind of universal. Point that at the projector,